It is in your smile, in the light way you look at the world, that I got lost. Something about you captivated me, as if your energy could ignite a flame I didn't even know was there. You are different, not because of what you wear or how you look, but because of what you convey. It's a youth that goes beyond the physical. It's something contagious that awakens. I can't avoid it. Your presence leaves marks that I can't erase. I needed to tell you this. I needed you to know that it's you who occupies my thoughts. There is something magnetic in everything you do. When you smile, I feel that the world stops, and it's impossible not to be carried away by that unique energy that only you have. I can't exactly explain how it happened, but I know it was immediate and intense. Suddenly you became everything my eyes seek, everything my mind insists on revisiting. Every word of yours, every small gesture, carries a weight that perhaps you never notice. I try to disguise, to hide what I feel, but the truth is that you disarm me in a way that no one has ever done before. There is something about you that takes me out of control, that makes me want to be better, to do more, to go beyond. And yet, just being near you, I already feel like I have everything I need. I wanted you to know how special you are, not only to me, but to the world you touch with your lightness. You have something that is rare, almost impossible to find. It's as if you carry a light, something that transforms everything around you, something that gives life to those fortunate enough to know you. And yet, you have no idea. You walk around in your own way without realizing how much impact you have. And that only attracts me even more. This purity, this naturalness with which you carry a world inside you. It is impossible not to notice. It is impossible not to want. I wish I had the courage to say all this while looking into your eyes, but I still can't. It's a mix of fear and hope. Fear that you won't see in me what I see in you. Hope that maybe I can be someone who makes a difference to you just as you do to me. It's strange because I've never felt this way before. I've never been the kind of person who loses their ground because of someone, but with you it's different. I have no control over it, and frankly, I don't want to have any. Sometimes I wonder if you notice, if it ever crossed your mind that someone could be like this, completely fascinated by you. And it's not just your beauty, although it is impossible to ignore. It's the essence. It's the combination of everything you are and how you are. It's the way you talk about the things you love, the sparkle in your eyes when you're excited about something, or even the way you stay silent, as if your presence is enough to fill the room. And it is. For me, it is more than enough. I could keep hiding what I feel, but it's consuming me. I need you to know, even if I don't know what comes next. I need you to understand how much you mean to me, even if it's hard to put into words everything I feel, because the truth is, no word would be enough to describe you. No word can capture what you represent. And maybe that's the hardest part. Loving in silence, admiring from afar, pretending everything is okay when all I want is to be by your side, to share my world with you. I don't want to be just someone who passes through your life without leaving a trace. I want to be someone you remember, someone you feel like having around, someone who somehow manages to give back all that you make me feel. I don't know what you're going to think of this, but I needed to take a risk. I needed you to know. I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering, what if? What if I had said something? What if you felt something similar? What if there was a chance, no matter how small, that this was reciprocal? I can't ignore this. I don't want to ignore it. So here I am, opening up to you, running the risk of seeming vulnerable, maybe even silly. But to be honest, that's how I feel when I think of you. You have this power over me. And even though it scares me, I wouldn't change a thing. Because every second I've spent admiring you, every moment your smile lit up my day was worth it. Maybe you won't understand immediately. Maybe this will surprise you. But deep down, I hope it touches you in some way. I hope that at least for a moment you see what I see in you. Because it's impossible not to admire you. It's impossible not to wish you well. And above all, it's impossible not to love you for who you are. If you've made it this far, I hope you know that this is more than just a declaration. It's an attempt to show how unique you are, how special you are. And more than that, it's a way to tell you that regardless of what you feel or choose, I'm already grateful for having had the chance to know you. Because with you, everything seems to make more sense. I know that this declaration may seem sudden, even a bit unexpected, but none of this is rushed. I thought through every word, revised this feeling so many times within myself, that there is no room for doubt anymore. Every time I remember the sound of your voice, your laughter that echoes even when you're not around, something inside me reaffirms, it's you. And that's what scares and excites me at the same time. You may not even know this, but you made me look at myself in a way I never had before. Your presence challenged me, pulled me out of my comfort zone, made me want to be better, not because you demand something from me, but because you inspire. You don't realize the impact you have on people, how much your essence transforms, but I see it, I feel it, and you know what's most curious? It's not just about what you do or say, it's about how you exist. Your way of facing things, of connecting with the world around you, has a simplicity and depth that leave me speechless. It's as if the world around you gains another hue, another vibration. Even when I try to shift my focus, even when I busy myself with 1,000 things, you come back, always come back. Like a thought that doesn't want to go away, like a melody that insists on playing in my head. This is not something I planned, much less something I can control. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if you knew all of this. Would you be surprised? Would this change anything for you? I don't expect immediate answers. In fact, I don't even expect you to fully understand what I'm saying. I just hope you feel it, that somehow this reaches you with the intensity it has inside me. And here I am exposing myself, putting myself in a position I never imagined. But if there's something you need to know, it's that all of this is real. None of this is exaggeration or romanticization. You moved me in a way I never thought possible. And honestly, I don't know what to do with this besides sharing it with you. Maybe you think all of this is just a fleeting admiration, something superficial, but it's not. It's something that goes beyond what I can express with words. It's a feeling that grows every time I see you, every time I hear your voice, every time you're around. It's as if the simple fact of your existence is enough to change my day. I don't know what you feel, or if you feel something similar. But that doesn't change what is in me. It doesn't change the fact that you are already part of my world, even if you don't know it. And you know what's crazier? I didn't even expect to feel this. I wasn't looking, I wasn't waiting. But you appeared with that unique way, with that lightness that only you have, and changed everything. And now all I can do is be honest about it. If I could describe what you mean to me in a few words, I would say that you are a point of light amidst the chaos. Someone who effortlessly makes everything around seem simpler, more beautiful, more alive. And no, this is not an attempt to impress you or to say something nice just for the sake of saying it. It's the truth. It's what I feel every time I think of you. I don't expect you to have all the answers. I don't even expect you to react in a specific way. What I hope above all is that you understand that this is not about pressure or expectations. It's about you knowing how special you are, how admired you are, how cherished you are. I don't know if you've ever stopped to think about how your little actions can have such a big impact on someone. But, in my case, each gesture of yours, no matter how small, has enormous weight. When you smile, it's as if the world gains more color. When you speak, it's as if each word carries a unique intensity, even when you don't realize it. I keep imagining what it would be like to truly be by your side, not just as someone who watches you from afar, but as someone who is part of your daily life. What it would be like to share simple moments, laugh at silly things, build something together. I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but I do. And every time I think about it, I feel it would be something amazing. And even with all this whirlwind of feelings, I understand that this is something that is in my heart. Something I needed to gather the courage to share with you. Not because I expect something in return, but because you deserve to know. You deserve to know how special you are, how loved you are, how unique you are. So here it is, my heart, my words, my feelings, no filters, no beating around the bush, just me, being honest about what you mean to me. Even as I write this, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing. Do you want to know all of this? Will this change anything between us? Or am I just letting out what I've been carrying for so long, unable to keep it to myself any longer? The truth is, you have become a constant presence in my mind. And it's not in a light or fleeting way, like those things that come and go without leaving marks. It's deep, it's strong, it's something that has taken over me. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, you appear. Sometimes in memories of small moments, in a look, in a smile. Other times just as a thought, an idea, a feeling that the world makes more sense with you in it. I don't know if you understand what this is. Maybe even I don't completely understand. But what I know is that when you are around, everything seems different. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling before, your presence changes everything. It's as if you have the power to bring peace and, at the same time, that kind of good restlessness, that anxiety that only appears when something really important is at stake. You never asked me to feel this. I know that. You did nothing but be yourself. And somehow that was enough to hit me in a way I never thought possible. Maybe that's exactly what makes me so confused and so certain at the same time. Confused because I've never experienced anything like this before, and certain because, despite everything, I can't imagine my life without feeling this for you. I wanted to tell you that I don't expect anything in return, but I would be lying. Deep down, we all desire reciprocity. We all want to believe that something so intense can be reciprocated, that what we feel can find an echo in another person's heart. And yes, I hope. I hope because I can't help it. Because deep down, I want to believe that you somehow feel something too. But above all, I want you to be happy. And if that means my place is just here, admiring you from afar, then I accept that. I accept it because, even though it hurts, I don't want to be someone who burdens you, who charges you, who expects something beyond what you can or want to offer. I don't want you to feel pressured or uncomfortable. All I want is for you to know how incredible you are, how special you are, how much you have the power to transform those around you, even without realizing it. And maybe you will never know the impact you had on me. Maybe you will never see what I see in you, but if for some reason you see a little of what I'm trying to say here, it will already have been worth it. Because no matter what happens next, what matters is that you know. You have something unique, something that can't be explained, only felt. And even if I try to describe it in words, I will always feel like I am failing. Because how can I describe something so immense, so beautiful, so true? I wish I could show you the world through my eyes. I wish you could see what I see when I look at you. How everything about you seems so natural, so light, and at the same time so profoundly striking. I wish you could understand that. Even though it may not make sense to you now, it is something that has changed my life in a way I cannot put into words. I know it is risky to say all of this. I know I might be putting a lot at stake. But I also know that I could not keep this to myself any longer, because this is bigger than me, bigger than any fear or doubt. Sometimes I wonder if you have noticed anything. If at some point you have noticed the looks that linger a little longer than they should, the smiles I can't hold back when I'm near you, the way my words seem to get stuck when I try to say something important. Maybe you have noticed, or maybe not, but either way, now you know. And if this changes anything, I want it to be for the better. So I want it to be a starting point, an opportunity for us to be honest with each other, to understand what this means for both of us. I don't want this to be a burden or an obligation. I want it to be light, like everything you bring to my life. If you've made it this far, if you've read all of this, I want you to know how much it means to me, how much you mean to me. If you've read this far, it is already clear how important you are to me. But there is still so much to say, so much to share. I know words can seem repetitive, but it's because there's no other way to express something that doesn't fit into a single sentence, into a single gesture. You, with everything you are, have brought a different meaning to my life. Even without wanting to, without realizing it, without any intention, you entered my world and messed everything up. In a good way. A way that made me look at things that were once just routine and realize that everything has more color when I think of you. There are so many questions that I would like to ask you. Have you ever felt something like this? Have you ever looked at someone and felt your heart race for no reason? Have you ever wished a conversation would never end, just to hear that voice a little longer? Because that's what you make me feel. It doesn't matter the day, the time, the place. When I'm with you, time seems to stretch and at the same time run too fast. And it's not about idealizing you. I know you have your flaws, your bad days, your insecurities, like anyone else. But somehow that only makes me admire you more. Because you don't try to hide it. You don't try to be something you're not. You are you, with all your nuances, with all the truth you carry. Maybe you've never noticed, but that's exactly what won me over. It's not just the moments of brilliance, the smiles that light up the room, but also the silences, the moments when you seem lost in your own thoughts. Because in those moments, I see who you really are. I've tried so many times to put limits on this feeling, to convince myself that it was something fleeting, something I could control. But how can you control something that comes so naturally, that grows with every moment, with every exchange of glances? It's not easy carrying this alone. It's not easy looking at you and pretending that everything is normal, that there's nothing pulsing inside me every time you smile. But until now, I've preferred silence. Maybe out of fear, maybe out of insecurity, maybe because I didn't know how to say it. But now all I want is to be honest. And in being honest, I also need to say that sometimes it hurts. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because keeping all this to myself is a weight that gets heavier with each passing day. It's like trying to hold something that no longer fits in your hands, that overflows, that slips through your fingers. For that reason, I needed to tell you. I needed you to know how much you mean, how much you transformed my life just by being who you are. And even if this leads to nothing, even if you don't feel the same, just sharing it with you is already a relief. Because I can't keep it inside anymore. I can't hide it any longer. Every time I'm near you, I feel like I'm on the verge of saying everything, and it consumes me. So now you know. Now there's nothing more to hide. And yet, I wonder, what do you feel? Does this make any sense to you? Have you ever thought of me in a different way? Seen me beyond what I usually show? I don't expect an immediate response, nor do I even know if you'll have an answer. But deep down, I hope that at the very least, you feel the sincerity of every word I write here. I'm not asking for anything except your understanding. I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable situation. All I want is for you to know what is inside here, what has been here for so long and is now overflowing. And if by chance you feel something too, even if it's small, even if it's confusing, I want you to know that I'm here, that I'm willing to understand, to wait, to build something that goes beyond words. But if that's not the case, if you don't feel anything similar, I want you to know that this doesn't change what I feel. Because loving you, even in silence, has already been one of the most beautiful things I've lived through. Now that you know all this, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted from me. It was hard to put each word here, to open my heart like this, but I needed to. You needed to know the impact you had on my life. Even without intending to, even without noticing, you brought something unique, something that changed me forever. I don't know how you feel reading this, and that's okay. I don't expect immediate answers or anything beyond what you're ready to give. I just want you to know by the time you finish reading that every word was sincere, that every emotion described here is real. And now I ask, have you ever felt something like this? Have you ever been in a situation where someone affected you in an unexpected way without you being able to control it? If so, share it with me in the comments. I want to know how you dealt with it, how it changed your life. And if this message touched you in any way, if it connected with something inside you, give it a like. This helps me know that opening my heart like this is worth it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's share stories, emotions, and grow with each of them together. Now it's your turn. Tell me, what did you think? How do you feel about this? I am eager to hear from you.